I'm very selfish with my looks, my time, my energy, because if I'm depleted,
no one's benefiting.
Even my ex-husband's like, he knows when I'm like, I'm leaving for 3 weeks. Don't call me. Don't text us unless it's an emergency. I need a vacation. I need a break.
You already know how to set those boundaries with yourself and other people. So when you choose to be generous, you are consciously very choosing. I think so many women really struggle with actually that very basic concept of putting themselves first.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Flex Credit Cards. I think one of the biggest conversations women in business are finally starting to have is around cash flow. From the outside, people see the brand, the audience, the launches, the success, but behind the scenes, many female founders are carrying enormous financial pressure while trying to scale, especially in e-commerce. You're paying for inventory, ads, operation, and payroll upfront, while revenue often comes later. So sometimes the faster the business grows, the tighter cash flow actually becomes. And traditional banking, like Chase, like Amex, all these companies, they haven't evolved fast enough for modern founders. And that's why I love platforms like Flex. And it's so interesting to me. They were built for ambitious women scaling quickly. Their Net 60 credit card gives businesses 60 to even 90 days at 0% interest, which creates real breathing room while revenue catches up. So instead of cash flow becoming a bottleneck, it becomes a growth advantage. And what's fascinating is the cashback side, because at scale, cashback stops being a perk and starts becoming real operational capital. Most founders underestimate how much money moves through their business each year across ads, inventory, shipping, software, and even vendors. When spend is consolidated strategically, the reward becomes meaningful. I recently read Hudson from Comfort received over $3 million in cashback through Flex in 1 year alone. That's real investment capital that can go directly back into hiring, expansion, customer acquisition, or even inventory. And I think that's where female entrepreneurship is headed. Women are no longer just building beautiful brands. We're becoming smarter financial operators too. Because the best founders don't only focus on making money, they focus on optimizing how money moves through the business. This is very new for me because I have another queen of manifestation and mindset on the show today, Paget. I can't even explain. It's so funny how the world works because my best friend was in from California. And I told you this earlier. She's a lawyer. She's not really crazy about social media. And she was like, have you seen this chick?
Oh my God.
She kind of talks about similar stuff to you. And I was like, yeah, I've seen her stuff pop up. She was like, she seems cool. You should connect with her. And that's why I reached out to you.
I know. And then you were like, oh, if you're ever in Miami, And then I'm like, yeah, I don't really know. I haven't been there in years. And then I got invited to something. Literally, I think it was like a week or two later. And I'm like, hey, Liz, So that was really crazy. That was really cool. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us who you are and why you are the way you are. Like, why are you doing what you're doing now?
Oh my gosh.
Loaded question.
Yeah, really loaded question. Who am I? I mean, I really hate, I know that once you're in this space, you have to I'm sure label yourself. Like I'm a coach or I'm a manifestation or I'm just someone who's obsessed with this stuff, who's obsessed with energy and manifestation. I'm sure you too. And why I am who it's really honestly because of a lot of struggle, to be honest. If everything was just going well, I don't think I would care about energy. I would care about manifestation. I would care about any of this stuff, personal development stuff, is because things were not going well, right? Isn't that why most people get into this? They hit some edge where they're like, I need a deeper explanation for why things are crashing in my life. Yes.
Something's got to give for sure.
Yeah. So it was basically, my whole life, I felt like I've lived about 10 different lives. I'm sure it's actually the same for you, probably. I feel like we're kind of similar in that way.
Sure is.
Yeah. And where I feel like I've been a million different kinds of people. But in each iteration, I felt really, really disempowered, whether it was relationships or money or career or visibility or acknowledgement or any of those things. It was I literally, for over 10 years, I literally couldn't make anything work, seemingly. And I refused to just think, okay, there's something totally, completely messed up about me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to go deeper. I need to actually understand this because I can't accept the answer that I am just completely flawed. right? So, I mean, I just kept digging and digging and digging and digging.
What was that breaking point for you? Like the last one prior to getting into this?
Oh man. There was several, but I will tell you one of the breaking points that made me get into manifestation and energy in particular. And like the first time I went to a psychic was I went on 87 first dates to find like my person. And it was the 85th first date with someone that I was dating this guy, and he seemed to check every single box for me, every single box. And then 6 months into us dating, I was on his computer, like writing something, like, I'm just using your computer. And he's like, oh, go ahead and use my computer.
Something popped up.
And then like, I'm like trying to save this document. I'm probably also low key like snooping.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? and so
I just want to know what's up.
Trying to save the document. And then I somehow, but it was on his desktop. So it's not like I had to even search very far. Okay. Yeah. But it said groomsman list and an Excel spreadsheet, groomsman list. And I'm like, hold on, how could you not be inviting me to a wedding where you're a groomsman? I thought he was the groomsman in the
I thought
wedding.
This was gonna get a lot crazier.
Oh, no. I thought he was the groomsman in the wedding. Yeah. It was his groomsman list.
Shut up.
Yes, he was getting married.
Oh my, I thought like, you were just like, I thought it was like less intense than that. And now it's,
no, it's really intense. No, it's really intense, Liz. Okay? It was cray-cray.
Crazy.
No, it was fucking crazy. Well, of course I online stalked her. I'm not going to say her name or anything.
Yeah, no, but like who? Like he was marrying someone he'd been dating for a while? Like,
well, you know, from my online stalking and my extensive research, they were probably together for like, I don't know, a couple years. They could have been together for 10 years or a couple years.
You hear these stories where people are able to like be in two completely separate relationships. Like, how is it even possible?
No, it was crazy.
I don't have time to brush my hair.
Like, seriously, I was like, how are you pulling this shit off?
And working.
He had a good job. He was making good money. It was part of the check boxes that I was looking at. Right. And so it turns out that she was going to med school in San Francisco. And so he was in LA. Yeah. And they lived apart.
The space. Yeah.
But it was, I mean, there were so many red flags. I just chose to ignore them because I'm like, no, I want him to be my person because he will solve all of my life problems, you know, because nothing was working for me. And then it was after, well, that's weird. I confronted him. I was like, your groomsman list. And he was just like, what are you doing going through my stuff? Why are you going through my stuff? I'm like, it's literally on your desktop.
But your intuition told you something was off.
It told me it this is kind of interesting. It told me it a few times during the 6 months. And it's almost like my higher self was like, ping, ping, like, listen to me, you stupid bitch.
But women choose to ignore that a lot.
100. Yeah,
Which is part of why you're really good at what you do now, because you're like, listen to that North Star, listen to your intuition.
But let's be honest. Sometimes we still don't listen to it.
Of course.
Right? Because we all want to be in some level of denial at times. And then that's why I think I teach this stuff is almost like to remind myself of what I need to be reminded. Like, I feel like we have to remind ourselves sometimes of these things.
Yeah, I literally, I joke about like how I send myself calendar invites to drink water, that I send myself calendar invites to do a check. Like, am I coming from a place of expansion or contraction?
I love that.
How am I feeling right now? Like a little, like a Bluetooth connection to God. You know?
I love that.
Just like a tap in, like, hey, where are you?
Yes, 100%. Having those reminders are so important. And that's why, like, you listen to a podcast like this or something, right? To just help you remember what you probably already know on some deeper level.
You know.
I knew, because this is how creepy it was. Like, I know we're getting so into the story, but
this does happen to women. It's like not that crazy.
So that's why sad. Yeah, that's why I actually want to talk about it. Because like, there was one night where I woke up and I needed to go to the bathroom and I was staying in his place. And for no reason, guys or women, you need to listen to this, okay? If this happens to you, listen. I woke up, I needed to go to the bathroom for no reason, literally no logical reason. I like felt or heard this voice, and I'm getting chills right now.
Same.
That was like,
literally same.
Oh my God. Okay. That was like, go check his wallet. And I'm like, check his wallet for what? I don't know what that means. Check his wallet. Like, what, for cash? I didn't even know what that was trying to get me to do. I now know kind of what he was doing. I didn't check his wallet because I'm like, okay, you're being crazy. Like, you're being one of those crazy psycho women, right? And so I go to the bathroom, I look at his wallet, and then I felt this like dark energy. Maybe it was his energy that was like, don't. Like, I don't know. And so then I didn't, and I just went back to sleep. I later learned that he was also lying about his age by like 8 years or something. I don't know how he I don't know how he was able to do that. But if I looked at his driver's license, I would have found out that he was lying about his age. And then it probably would have snowballed into, well, what else are you lying about? But like, I didn't listen because I thought that that was my psychotic, crazy woman side. It was actually just my intuition being like, check out something. This is not quite right. It is okay for you guys to think that there is not something quite right and to check. But I feel like women are so, we like use guilt against ourselves.
Well, that's been stemmed since the patriarchy, saying that
I know,
women are
exactly.
crazy or too emotional.
Exactly.
When it was really actually always their intuition guiding them.
100%. 100. And then that gets gaslit and then that gets turned on us when it's like, actually, I'm just highly sensitive and intuitive and I actually know what's up.
And every woman is, she just doesn't know because she maybe hasn't done the work that we have to tap into that.
Right. And to also be able to articulate where that is actually coming from. Sometimes it is from fear, but I actually think a lot of the times, if you look at relationships that you've been in, like generally, whenever you felt like there was something a little bit off, maybe it wasn't what you projected it onto specifically, like, oh, he's seeing another woman. Maybe it wasn't that, but maybe it was something else. Maybe it was like, okay, he's not as emotionally committed as you think he is. Or there's something else kind of that's off that needs to be addressed. I feel like women, we are very sensitive when something's like off. And then we get told we're crazy because we don't necessarily always have like the physical proof of it.
Sure. So that happened. You obviously, so that happened. You obviously went through it after that. How could you not?
That was the first time I went to see a psychic. So that's when the whole like.
Do you still love that psychic? Do you think that that psychic was next level?
I'll tell you, no, because I mean, yeah, she was.
I'm selfishly asking.
So I went to her because I wanted to know what's going on. Why did this happen to me? Or like, what's happening? Or am I stupid? Is he like, because he actually denied it, by the way. He was like, that's an old groomsman list. So then I went to a psychic and I was like, what's actually happening here? Maybe not the first person you go to, but it was the first person I thought of. It was the first time I had ever done anything like that. I was kind of embarrassed to do it. And then she actually told me when she read it, she was like, well, I see that he really loves you and he's like going to propose to you. And like, you're supposed, like, yeah, he really likes you and he's committed to you. And I don't see why I don't know why I would see that if that wasn't the case. Right. And so then I'm like, okay, that was comforting, I guess. But then I knew there was something off. So then, of course, I went back home and I checked out a whole bunch of guys. This is like literally, I'm giving you the
blueprint.
I know. So
women are the FBI, straight up. We could solve world crime. It's actually disturbing.
I went to like the most popular gift registries, like Macy's.
Stop. Not the most popular gift
I did, and I just like typed in his name, and then I'm like, oh, there it is. No, and then I found the actual date. I found like when they took photos for their engagement. I mean, I'm full blown crazy. Okay, I found when they took photos for the engagement.
But no, you were stressed. Of course,
I wasn't crazy, but I'm acting now like,
now
oh
you're
my
in
God.
it to win it.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm really in it. And then I actually, thank goodness, I get freaked out because I'm like, oh, if he has the capacity to do this, what else does he have the capacity to do? He knows where I live now. He knows like about me. And so when he called me later that day, I was just like, oh, I'm just not feeling very well. Like, I just feel like we need to take a break. Cause I didn't want to call him out. I'm like, I totally get it. I'm sorry for looking through your, like, I just played that game.
Yeah.
Cause I was just kind of scared. Rightly or wrongly, I was kind of freaked out.
By the way, fair.
Is it fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, when it came to that psychic, no, not great.
Not great. I was like, oh, wow, is she great? No, definitely not. No.
But I think there's something else to be learned here too, which is that I asked myself, why was she so wrong about that? Even though she was right about reading other things that I could confirm. And I realized it's because that a lot of the times, like on our journey, and I'm sure maybe you've gone through this, maybe you haven't, but where we're looking for so much confirmation outside of ourselves, and we can't give that confirmation for ourselves, and we're not even paying attention, or we're not even open to listening to ourselves. And then the universe then gives us that lesson, right? It'll be like, okay, yes, you can go to 7 psychics if you want in a week. Sure. Go and do it. And you'll literally get a different answer from each one of those psychics, because the lesson that you're actually meant to learn is to confirm yourself. right? That you already freaking know. Do you know what I mean?
100%. It's
Have you had that lesson too?
A million times over.
Right.
A million times
And it's
over.
always when you need the answer so much and you're so attached, I need to know, that like you don't really get it.
That's part of the evolution of the soul, right? Is learning to release the attachment.
Yes.
And learning to have certainty.
Yes.
And spirituality, specifically Kabbalah, it speaks so often to having certainty. And how does one find certainty?
Yes.
How does a
yes,
woman
yes.
find certainty? We have to understand that spending time alone allows us to process, allows us to think, allows us to tap into our dreams, our intuitions, our thoughts. We're always just go, 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 go. Let me look for external validation. Let me get the psychic. Let me get the guide. Let me get the friend. You're asking your aunt's sister's cousin's
Yes.
advice.
Yes.
But really, we know that God is not an old man in the sky with a white beard. God, universe, whatever speaks to you, Hashem, Allah, it's energy. And we are fragments of energy. We know this to also be true because neuroscience states and shows that we are actual frequency waves and everything holds an energy wavelength. So if we understand that, then we should really only have certainty in only one thing outside of ourselves, and that's the connection to the creator.
100%.
And once you understand that, and there's a point of having to understand it, but then also having to remind yourself.
Yes. Yes.
And that's working, but that's the beauty of doing the work, and that's the beauty of constantly checking in on yourself and reminding yourself that you can't get that from anyone else but yourself and the creator, but it's easier said than done, and that's why we teach.
Exactly. I mean, and I'm sure you've seen this too, like with clients who have the best results, they're always the ones who take the work and they apply it for themselves, right? They're the ones who don't just like, I need to know this thing, but it's like, no, I'm applying it. Like I'm becoming the master. Mm-hmm. Like I'm on my path to becoming the master. I'm not looking at you to be my master. Mm-hmm. I'm becoming the master too.
Correct. Well, in Judaism, we don't believe in idolatry. So I always tell people, even followers on Instagram, do not idolize me, idolize the teachings. 100%. I am literally just a messenger.
Channel.
That's it. Do not ever idolize anyone, because the second you put anyone above you, A, it typically gets removed, and B, you'll have to find out quickly that you can't do that with anyone.
Yes. Do you notice how, maybe you've never actually done this because of your belief system around this, but I would idolize people. I would idolize teachers or mentors or guides or gurus or things like that. And I would always get to this point where they would let me down in some way. Sure. Because I had built up a false image of them in order to feel safe in myself. Mm-hmm. I was actually relying on them to give me safety. Mm-hmm. If I can find out the answer from them, I will feel safe within myself. Mm-hmm. And then there was always a point or little moments where I would see the crack where they're just human beings, right? And then I would get really, really disappointed. And I had to understand that my disappointment wasn't that they were wrong or that there was something wrong with them. They were just human. It was that I was making them something that they were never supposed to be.
Correct. And it's breaking the illusion, right?
Yes. It's
breaking the illusion so that you actually go back to yourself and source.
100%. Yeah.
It's the same thing in relationships. Everyone at one point eventually will let you down. And it's more about the understanding of how to move through it with grace and compassion. How does God act? God acts with love, strength, compassion, no judgment. What's the opposite of acting like God or opposite of acting like light? Aggression, stress, fear, all these things that are very common to feel, but if you can correct yourself, if you can catch yourself, then you can get out of that.
Yes.
But it's all really to just break illusions so that you become closer to yourself and to God.
100. I love how you say break illusions, because that's what the whole thing is. That's what this whole reality actually really is. The game that I call it like a game, almost like a video game, is to break through the illusion that, okay, that big boss, scary man at that level is has power over you, has any power over you. And it's oh no, I just created it there so that I could then see the illusion that it's actually not as powerful as I am.
Correct.
And that's the whole game.
Correct.
Literally, it's not an easy game, but it's the whole game.
And also learning how to, because it's like walking into a movie theater, right? There's multiple movies playing at once. The characters don't change. How you react to it changes. And that's the goal, to evolve to a point where you're fixing what we call in Kabbalah and in Judaism is tikkun olam. So we all come here with different different corrections. Mine's very different than yours.
Yeah,
yours
so
is different than
can you
his.
talk, I'm actually curious, can you talk about that? About I've heard about this.
Yes.
The corrections. Can you explain
Sure.
what corrections are? Like, and how would you identify what your corrections is?
Sure. So there's a quiz that you can take. It's like a 10-question quiz, if you will. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And it allows you to understand yourself at a deeper level quickly of what your corrections are. Like, how do you deal with, I don't know, if someone breaks up with you, are you more A, B, or C? Are you A and D? Are you, like, for me, it was always reactivity. I used to be very, very, very reactive.
So I'm curious, what is your correction?
Reactivity.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Quick to, instead of pausing
Yeah.
and taking a minute to collect, just immediately reacting, which makes me great in terms of speaking,
Yes,
in terms
yeah.
of being quick in business,
Yep.
but in my personal life, being really reactive and to just snap or not process things. And now after doing a lot of work, I'm way more prone to taking a beat, processing, and then responding, not coming from a place of lack, fear, or anger.
Does Kabbalah talk about where it comes from?
Yes. So past lives.
Yes.
Past lives has a lot to do with how we act in this lifetime, because
Yeah.
every lifetime we're trying to be the highest version of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And whatever you didn't correct, you're here to correct
Yeah.
that in this lifetime, because we're not a physical being. We are a spiritual being in a
Yeah.
physical vessel, here to experience the most beauty of the physical world, but also the highest level of our soul. So with that understanding, instead of just moving through the world in just a, pragmatic way and a logical way, how can I be what I'm meant to do, be the highest version of myself? So it's understanding what our corrections are. I'm going to send you this quiz. I think you'll really like it. It's
Yeah.
good for your clients
Yeah.
too.
It's so cool because where I get my knowledge or whatever, right? And my teachings, it's not referenced off of anything. But then when I hear about Kabbalah, I'm like,
Little nuggets.
that's crazy that they're so, because I didn't reference it off of any, there's just truth. It's just truth.
It makes sense, right? Because
Yeah.
just like there's physical laws, just because you
Yeah.
can touch something, you can see it, right? But if you boil a pot of water and the water disappears, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just changed form. So we
Yeah.
understand that physical laws, we can see it, but nothing's really true until it's observed. So if we understand that nothing's true until it's observed, just because we can't see the water anymore doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's the same thing as spiritual law. So once you understand that and you understand the codes,
Yeah.
and then you can
Yep.
actually apply it to oneself, then it makes life more beautiful and easier to understand. Actually, I sent it to one of my clients. I'll show you,
I was thinking it's kind of interesting that I was having this.
correction. You should definitely, it's nice it's good for
Sure.
us
I'll
to
look at
know.
that. Yeah.
But this quiz is also great for your clients when you're working with them. So there's 10. I'll, just do 2. Your biggest inner struggle tends to be A, feeling unseen or misunderstood, B, giving too much, then feeling depleted, C, letting go of people or situations, D, releasing control and trusting timing. My biggest inner struggle, releasing control and trusting timing.
Okay, mine's B.
Giving too much, then feeling depleted. What sign are you?
Sagittarius. Why? Why'd you just go?
Because I'm a Cancer, so that's that's also for me because I'm a giver. Cancers are like the nurturers. The
yeah. Okay.
homemakers,
So that's
you
also
know?
yeah.
So for me, I give and I give and I give and I give, and I'm like, come to my house, I'll cook for you, I'll take care of you. Like I'm the nurturing one. A reoccurring pattern in your life is A, loving people who don't fully see you. B, emotional highs and lows. C, holding on longer than you should. D, carrying responsibility for others.
I mean, D. So this is getting really obvious.
Yeah, but that's what's cool about it, right?
Yes.
Because then you see this and you see the answers, and you're like, oh, it's so obvious.
Wait, should we just go through the whole thing? Would that be helpful for people?
How many questions are there?
Oh, I thought it was only
There's 10, but mostly A is self-worth and visibility. Mostly B, emotional boundaries. C, detachment and acceptance. D, trust and surrender. Mine's trust and surrender.
Well, I mean, also we all have the trust and surrender too.
Sure, but that's definitely my biggest.
Your big,
But I've done the work to chill out.
To know
on
that,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is what's interesting. I was actually talking to my sister about this last night, in fact.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious, what you think about this. So, we're talking about distortions, I call it the distortions, which are the corrections. And I posed this question because she's very familiar with what I do and all of that stuff. I posed the question. I'm like, perhaps my biggest distortion is the fact that I need to know at all. Like I need to put definition and I need to even try to understand the truth, whatever, right? Or the reason why, or I need to put things into a structure that makes logical sense for me in order for me to make logical sense of life. That actually, if I completely let go of even needing that structure and needing to make it make sense, like, would I be actually okay? Because like ever since I was little, I'm like, I just always needed to know how things worked. And I'm like, is that literally like my biggest distortion?
Not necessarily, because you have a thirst and a quest for knowledge and understanding of how something works, which is fun, right? Like I'm loving that with like Claude AI, like learning how things work.
Oh my God, me
It's
too.
fun.
I've become like obsessed
Same.
with like, how do I make Claude AI make my life so like co-work, like the whole thing?
But that's part of your personality. So that's cool. But you can also take that and transmute it into what you're doing, which is understanding the deeper laws of the world and the deeper laws of the universe. So you can spread that light. Like you can take that thirst of knowledge and transmute it.
Well, okay, but I do think it is important, because if you don't really know, if there's no sense in anything in this life, like you'll just be not even learning the lessons. Like you could just be skipping every single 100%.
We know that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Or they're so good and so successful. Like a lot of my clients are incredibly talented at success when it comes to monetary. But then in their personal lives, they can't control everything. So they get confused because the outcome isn't what they put in. And they're like, but I did the things.
I'm also sure that you attract the clients who have your same,
100 freaking %. They're like, but I did all the right things and I'm really smart. And I'm like, I know, babe. I know. I'm aware.
I love it.
You attract a lot of people because what is everything? It's energy.
And it's just a reflection of ourselves.
It's just a reflection of it. So sometimes when my clients are talking, I'm like, what in the fuck this can't be real.
Right? Because you're like, I was literally just processing this.
I'm like, but we're teaching one another, right? But the difference is I tell my clients, or even in a course or a seminar, I'm like, the only difference between me and you is I know the laws.
Yeah, exactly.
Awareness. It doesn't 100%. Make it, it's not easier for me.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not, I'm better than you. I am more intelligent. I'm more intelligent in understanding the laws to make it applicable to my life. That is the only difference between you and I.
That's also what I say too.
Yeah, that's
100%.
literally it.
No, because like if we're processing something that is really deep for us, it doesn't feel any easier. Literally, the emotions you have to go through and the things that you have to go through feel just as crap as someone else who's like processing something. It's the experience of the challenge is all exactly this. It's exactly the same. It's hard for people to understand that because they like
beautifully stated.
Because they're like, well, but you're having this and you have that life or whatever. No, it feels the same.
It's a human experience.
Yes.
But applying the laws and the understandings. And that's why it's our duty, once you figure out that this is your calling, which you clearly have, to spread and share that knowledge. That is your actual duty here on this earth, and everyone has a gift. And I believe that every woman truly has their gift. And this is our gift. And this is what we're here to do. We're here to teach it. Oh, you're about to get so sick of me. I'm going to be sending you so much shit.
Oh, please send me stuff. Oh, please.
I'm going to be like, babe, it's Monday. Wake up. Who needs coffee? You got Liz texting you all the time about stuff. But it's fun, right? Because
yes, it is.
You get to learn so many, I spend time with so many different walks of life and so many different educators. And I'm like, oh, I pulled this from this person and this from that. And it's fun. It's really cool.
Where does Kabbalah sit with... I don't know how weird we can get.
We can get weird, babe. I had one of my girlfriends like, can we talk about aliens? I'm like, girl.
No, I was going to ask you, because I'm like, where does it sit? Because like, I am very, I'm kind of like open to everything.
Sure.
Like, so if I listen to the Kabbalah, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Like, I love the way that was framed and the way that came through. Like, I freaking love it. Like, and I just pull, right? Yeah, like, I guess, how does it intersect with when people talk about the Matrix,
Sure.
dimensional realities, NPCs, all those kind of aliens, and all that stuff? Like, is there...
I'll break it down what Kabbalah even is, right?
Yes, actually, that's...
Kabbalah is ancient spiritual wisdom. It stems back 4,000 years ago. It stems from Judaism, but it's applicable to all walks of life. Islam, Christianity, atheists, even atheists, once they understand the logical and the neuroscience behind spirituality, they're like, okay, that makes sense. You have to speak to them in the language that they understand. And then the codes and the numbers and everything start to lock in.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember in the movie The Matrix.
Oh, of course I remember The Matrix.
So he literally says in the movie, which no one really catches, he goes, the answers and the codes are all in Zion. Zion is now modern day Israel. That's why the word Zionist, it's the return to Zion. So even though it's oddly been deemed negative, Zion is ancient Israel, which was Judea, the land of Zion. So when they say the codes are there, it's because it's where all three Abrahamic Accords stem from. And the codes, all the numbers, so even the Bible, Torah, all these books, when people are reading it, they're taking it literally, not realizing it's actually all got deeper meanings, deeper codes. And the numbers even align with certain spaces. And what's fun is if you're nerdy, which I know you are like me, once you see the codes and once you get really into it, you're like, whoa, it's all just a code for a deeper spiritual meaning, because everything in life is meant to be a spiritual understanding. It's not meant to be physical. The reading is just for those that are just reading it. The ones that really see, they go deeper. So my great grandfather on my dad's side, I'm half Moroccan, half Ashkenazi Jewish. So the Moroccan side, my great grandfather on my dad's side was a famous Moroccan Kabbalist. So he stemmed from Morocco, and at the time it was only 4% Jews. It was mostly Arabs and Muslims. So he was teaching this spiritual wisdom to the surrounding area. When he died, he was buried in Israel, but people from all over the world came to his gravesite.
Oh, wow. So you have a lineage.
Yes.
Wow. So that's
on my father's side.
That is how you initially entered them into it, or not?
Funny enough, I've been told about this. So I didn't reconnect with my dad till I was 21. That was my first time in Israel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's, oh, crazy. And
that's why also why my name is Liz Kennedy, but that's a longer story. But once I started going there, people were like, you should actually really care about this. This is actually incredibly powerful. But I was 21. I wanted to be hot and party and drink. And, like me, hot Middle Eastern guys, like I wasn't caring about spirituality per se. And it wasn't until a few years ago that I met someone who had been teaching and studying it since he was 16. And he got me really into it and was like, you should actually really care about this. This is literally who you are.
Wow.
And so much of the way I spoke and my life and how I dedicated so much time to spirituality in my own way through my own career, I didn't realize it was because I had it in me.
Wait, so what were you doing then before?
So prior to this.
Or what were you trying to do or study or whatever?
I was really, really in the beauty space, like heavily in the beauty space. But I was doing education in a way that wasn't just like, hey, put on this product. It was like, this is how it's going to make you feel. This is the importance of spending time alone. Always
interested in the
deeper moment of it. Because
like,
aesthetics is very important to me. It always will be. I love beauty. I love science. I love all that. But what is one without the other?
Right.
What does it matter if you look good if your internal is shit?
It's really, okay. Actually, maybe I shouldn't say this. Never mind.
You can say whatever you want.
Again, I was having this conversation with my sister yesterday. So Miami, like beautiful place.
Sure.
Beautiful people.
Beyond.
Like, I mean, like the best dressed, best bodies, the best everything.
Yeah.
And like, I get out of my Uber and I'm like, oh, wow. It's like, I just like landed in a fashion show or something like that. Right. Or a music video. But what is kind of interesting is that before, like when I was a lot younger, I would like look at people like that and I would be so intimidated and scared and be like, oh my God, they're like so incredible and amazing. And oh my God, like, and I would just like almost like idolize that kind of beauty. When I got out of, maybe this is just with age or whatever, but when I got out of the Uber yesterday, I could recognize like how amazing, impeccable it was. But also it's because of what I do. I read people's energy and frequency. But like now I don't get I don't get carried away in that way.
Yeah.
Where I can actually see if it's incongruent with who they are.
Facts.
Where I'm just, and it's like immediate. It's like, oh, incongruency.
Why wouldn't you say that? Because it's true. When you feel energy, you can feel when someone's incongruent to how they look, to how they feel.
Seems a little, because it seems a little judgmental. But
is it, or is it just, it's only judgmental if you're judging the person in the situation.
Right. No, it was more
which you're not. You're feeling it for what it is.
I was more just like, I'm more like interested in why my reaction wasn't the way it used to be. I'm like, why was my reaction not? It was like, oh, wow, like she looks really great. But then like, and then there's like, oh, but there's an incongruence there.
Sure.
Right. It was kind of interesting. So I was kind of wondering if that was because I'm reading their frequency or if that's because I'm just like, I'm getting older and I'm seeing things from a different perspective. I don't know. Yeah.
A combo?
Yeah, probably.
A combo. Because I mean, that happens to me all the time. There's actually, I think you'll resonate with this. There's a spiritual law that states it's actually really important to spend time with women and men, but I'm assuming you work mostly with women because same. You want to spend time with women that are actually different frequency than you because those women, they're being called into your life for some reason, and it is your responsibility to show them how to be on a different frequency, and then you can also learn from them too. So everyone that's positioned in your world is actually there to teach you something in return. So even the women, like, for example, there was a woman in Miami that a lot of people spend time with, and she was known for being hilarious, but like possible behavior with men that was like tied to money for like spending time with them type of situation. But for me, I saw so much good in her because I always try to see the good in people that I still want to spend a lot of time with her to show her what she could do if she transmuted some of that energy into another avenue. And it worked. And through that process, she actually taught me something too. She taught me that, sometimes I can be very serious.
Yeah.
And I can always try to see the meaning in everything, which I do. But she taught me just to like laugh a little bit more and just chill a little bit more, and I thought that was really cool. And I saw that beauty in her. So it's like even the women that aren't on the same frequency, it's actually specifically our duty the most to show them, hey, this is what you can also be like and do,
So this is interesting because, it's kind of interesting because like, let's say, okay, my correction, because one of my biggest things, it is like it's not just physical boundaries. I'm actually okay with physical boundaries. It's energetic boundaries, meaning like I can feel pretty much without realizing it, everything that everyone is feeling. And I can like just pick up on everything. So I have done that many times in my life, right? But it hasn't served me.
Why? How? I feel like it has, because look where you are, like helping others and building a platform to share your knowledge.
Well, it has on a level of like, I understand my gifts, but then, and because this is also what I teach my clients too, that if you're constantly giving yourself away, right? Like giving your gifts away, you're not really seeing the value in the gifts. Now, it's a little bit different, right? Depends on how you approach it. But like, that's where I'm like, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to probably, if you are like a shining, bright person, who are going to want your time, energy,
for sure,
and effort.
For sure.
And at some point you have to go, okay, does this serve me? Now, you are able to go, okay, this can serve me.
Yeah.
So that's the distinction, is like, it can serve me.
Yes, always.
But I think it's really important to always ask first, like, is this going to serve me? So I think that's
a great point, because I think women like us definitely can struggle with that. For me, I really do a check-in. Like if I am like, I haven't had a nanny the past 4 days and my ex is in Europe and I've been working and taking care of my kid and driving to school, which is rather far, and I was tapping out. With that said, I know when I'm tapping out, and that's when I go inward and I sit alone in bed, I read, I will just literally do anything to be alone. Like I'm really good at checking myself.
Okay, so you're good
like
at
that.
like checking in.
Yeah. Like I know when I'm like, okay, like you all need to leave me alone now.
You're good.
I don't know if every woman is, especially
that's what I'm
moms.
saying. A lot of women are not. Like I think you are. Yeah. You're good at that.
I know when to be like, we're done here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of women, again, I'm going to work with a lot of people who resonate with my correction, resonate with what I have struggled with. And so like telling them to do more for people is like not the right thing for them.
Yeah. You also need to know the person, right?
Yeah, because like I think actually I'm curious about what Kabbalah thinks about this. So I didn't like get this from anywhere, but like it's just a very, very strong like teaching, which is that you have to always be willing to put yourself first.
Yes.
But does that conflict? Because there's some people out there who are like, oh, you're always like, just if you just give away to everyone, it's always going to come back. It depends.
Balance,
like,
yin and yang.
I don't believe that that's just universally true. I think if you give with the expectation, oh, it's always going to flow back, that's different. But I think a lot of people take that as like, you just give, and then you never actually receive. And I believe so strongly that you have to be willing to put yourself first, always.
Same. Okay. I'm very selfish with my looks, my time, my energy, because if I'm depleted,
no one's benefiting. Yeah.
It's a wrap. It's not happening. Even my ex-husband's like, he knows when I'm like, listen, like even like the month of July, I told him and my mom, I said, I'm leaving for 3 weeks. Don't call me. Don't text us unless it's an emergency. I need a vacation. I need a break.
Okay, I love that.
I need a break.
I love that. And I think that's a really important distinction is you already know, how to set those boundaries with yourself and other people. So when you choose to be generous, you are consciously very choosing.
Beyond.
Yes.
Beyond.
So if you are that person, you can. I think so many women, I don't know about the women that you work with, but do you find, maybe it's not the women you work with, but like, do you find that a lot of women really struggle with actually that very basic concept of putting themselves first?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. And there's so many ways to do it. Like something even as simple as like some of my friends will make fun of me for this, but it works. Wherever I go, I try not to stay longer than an hour and a half. And before I go, I walk in and I say, how can I give in this space without expecting anything in return? Like, how can I just act like the light at all times? Because I know I'll get it back if I'm just there to add value and to add light. So I check in with myself because I'm like, oh, well, if there's someone in the room that I want to connect with, I'm like, I really want to connect with them. Like, stop. Don't be needy. Walk in, act like the light. And whatever is drawn to you, it will happen.
Yes.
Just chill. But that hour and a half, I place time spots on things so that I'm not leaving exhausted, drained, waking up at 7 a.m. like hell.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you need to understand how to manage your time efficiently, even if that means when you're speaking to someone and you got to go. You know when you have to leave. You know when you're tired. You know when you need to use the restroom and you're still standing there because you don't want to be rude.
100%. Yeah.
Sometimes a healthy lie is a lie that will keep your sanity. Please excuse me, I need to use the restroom. Or if you're getting anxious, speaking to a large group, I need to excuse myself to collect your damn self.
See, I love this. Okay. I love this because I will tell you, most people who I work with don't understand that.
Horrible. And then they're all emotionally dysregulated.
And they think
and constipated because their body's stressed.
Right. But they think it's like, well, then I'm being a liar. I'm being a bad, like this is just something that's been unpacked. And then I actually want to ask you a different question about something, is that they conflate being a good, bad person with the wrong things, right? They think being a bad person is telling a little white lie to save everyone's energy, right? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
It's
and
like I hate the word white lie because the word lie is
not
ugly.
Good. Yes.
It's like there's got to be
there has to be a better word for that. Maybe we actually have to find a creative.
We're creating a new word for a white lie.
Exactly. But like, do you
preservation,
right? Like the basics, but
preservation.
A lot of people don't even have those basics. Anyway, I wanted to actually ask you about what you think about, this is one of the biggest questions, what you think about like the destiny versus fate versus free will.
Yeah.
In terms of, like where you end up in life.
Great question. It's something I actually think about all the time because I think it's so profound. I never actually understood the concept of free will until something really specific happened to me in my life. It's believed to be that everyone has a destiny, but because we are humans, we have the option of free will. So something could actually be meant for you, but because you're a human, you have free will. Yeah. So that's where the multiple timelines can come in. So that's what's interesting, right? Like I truly believe I met someone and I was with someone that it was meant to be, but because they had free will, they chose to go left versus right. And that's not to say it's wrong or right either, because there is no wrong.
But then when it came to, let's say, a marriage, okay, that ends, I actually have a very open belief around that. And maybe it's going to rub people the wrong way. My true belief is that we do have soul contracts.
It's very Kabbalistic of you.
What? Oh,
That's
yeah.
very
Okay.
Kabbalistic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't realize that. But
Yeah.
we do have soul contracts. So you had a soul contract with your ex-husband.
100%.
Like, I've had soul contracts with the people who made an impact in my life, like who I didn't stay with. But that doesn't mean that they're supposed to be in your life forever. It just means they were literally supposed to be a partner in your evolution for that one maybe period of time.
Correct.
And then as you continue to evolve, it's no longer a match. And so then you become a match to your next soul partner. So I actually don't have any sort of negative feelings personally about breakups, divorces, like second marriage, third marriage, whatever it is, because I just feel like there are soul contracts that are not necessarily supposed to be for the rest of your life. They're just supposed to be for that period of time of evolution.
You've
and
never
that's
studied
perfect.
Kabbalah?
No.
You're speaking like you study Kabbalah.
See, no, this is just my own head.
Maybe in a past life,
Maybe
I don't
I
know.
did,
I
'cause-
don't know, but you're speaking like you've studied it, which is so fascinating to me because people who haven't studied it, who speak like this, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's already innately within you.
Yeah. So it's like we're
So
already
it's really
getting-
fun. It's actually really fun.
So
because you're just very aligned with the thought process. I agree. I don't like the idea of divorce. I wouldn't tell people,
Of course.
who
It's not
cares?
fun.
You can get, someone like, who cares if it doesn't work? Just get divorced, find another.
Yeah.
I'm not really down for that either, where I think that's not respecting the honor
100%.
and the beauty of marriage.
And also the other
However-
person.
And the other person. Right? Like, oh, fuck you can find someone with more money, like it's all good. No, like that's not how we respect what marriage is meant to be. Marriage is a beautiful thing. I loved being married. But yes, I believe in soul contracts with people, also with friends. I believe my best friend is a soul. She is a soulmate. I believe my son is a soulmate. I believe one of my animals was 100% a soulmate connection. Not even a question. With that said, yes, either you evolve with them at a soul level, or what is a soulmate? A soulmate is not the Disney movie concept. A soulmate is the person that helps you correct a part of your soul so that you evolve. Now, when you get married and you divorce, it doesn't mean that it didn't mean anything or that it wasn't absolutely exceptional to your life. That's why there should always be such respect for what that other person brought you and what you brought them. But I completely am aligned with you on that. We have soul contracts with people. And that's why it's really important to see the good in everyone instead of seeing the ugly, because why the hell were they in your life otherwise?
Exactly right.
Like what was you think it was by chance? There's no such thing as a coincidence. Billions of people in the world and you just so happen to have been married to that person. Come on. If you think that everything just happens to be a coincidence, then you're not living a life of intention of real spiritual meaning. I really believe that to be true.
Well, and I just believe that we are all connected to everything, right? So obviously this is just like space, air, but I almost picture it like there's a matrix that like I'm here and it literally connects through you and it connects through him and it connects through the studio and it connects through everyone. And so when you shift, for instance, then the whole entire web of matrix also shifts. So yes, we're all connected, like meaning, and that's why I do believe that your destiny, it's going to be very hard for your destiny not to find you unless you're really actively like not following your path. But it's really, really hard because it's like already connected to you.
That's like the red string theory.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
that's more, I believe that stems from, I believe it stems from Buddhism. I could be very wrong.
Oh, really?
But the red string theory is like you're connected by an invisible like red string, and that it's like having trust and surrendering because that invisible string is really there. Nevertheless, it's like when the woman's like, oh, I met my husband, but I didn't realize we were at the same bar 4 years ago. Isn't that such a weird coincidence? I'm like, how could you possibly think that's a coincidence?
It's not.
There's no way.
Think about it like a rubber band that's always gonna, even if you try to like go over here, it's always gonna try to like pull you back, unless like you do something cray, okay, and you cut the rubber band. But not a lot of people are incentivized to cut the rubber band. But it's always gonna like do this, you know. That's how I feel about destiny and people and all
Which is
stuff.
another reason why when women are complaining to me, they're like, he was a narcissist and by the way, all of that could very well be
Yes.
true. But what about you aligned
Yes.
energetically
Yes.
to have that in your dynamic.
That
I don't
you had to learn
think
that
people
lesson.
like taking the accountability.
Oh, well, like the sociopath, going back to the sociopath I was in, in a relationship with. Yes, that was 100% my lesson. I was giving my power away to him like crazy. I was like, oh, you're going to solve my life. Oh, because you make money and you're this person and blah, blah, blah. You're going to be able to fix me. Never works like that.
No.
So, of course, I had to get that lesson to be like, nope, come back to yourself.
Yeah.
It's not about him. It's about you.
I want to change paths a little bit because we are on time. I feel like I could talk to you for 5 hours.
I know.
What are 3 tips that you can give to any woman that will actually help them on a day-to-day guideline, if you will, practice-wise? Like, what are 3 tips that you do for a woman to come back to herself, ground herself, get reconnected?
So, oh man, I could go so deep with this, but I'm going to try not to. So this isn't just women, but it's everybody. But I'm sure you also like teach this too, where, people say ignore your reality in order to manifest, right? So one of the things that I tell people and I talk to people about is we have the 3-dimensional reality where it's very physical based. And then we have the source that runs through us, that's always guiding us and channeling through us and everything like that, right? And that's where infinite possibilities comes from. The idea, the person, whatever it is. If a challenge comes up for you, like, oh my God, I'm so irritated because that email or that client did that or this is happening. What a lot of people do mistakenly is they feed their current reality of the challenge, where they go, oh my God, okay, now I'm going to fixate on the challenge. I'm going to spend all my day fixating on the challenge and trying to solve the challenge and all that stuff. And what you're actually doing is you're feeding that current reality of the challenge, right? And you're like feeding it because you are actually creating that in your reality anyway. So now you're creating this feedback loop of like, okay, I'm reacting to the thing. So now I'm creating more of it and I'm going to create more of it. And it's going to be like this.
Yeah, you're giving it more and more and more energy.
Exactly. You're giving it more intention. Do you still need to physically deal with it? 100%. But that's very different than feeding it all of your intention and energy. So I always say, like, it is about coming back to your center, your energetic center, right? Or coming back in connection with yourself or that limitless part of yourself. And so that's what I like. So if you can ignore your reality to some degree when challenging things come up and maybe even ask yourself, like, what else is possible here? What else is possible that I cannot even see that could even help me solve this problem? And one of the things I would even ask is, what else is possible that is so great that would make this challenge like a piece of dust, right? As opposed to focusing all your attention and trying to solve it and feeding it and more energy into it. What could I create that would make this challenge like nothing, right?
Instead of obsessing what could go wrong, what could go right.
Like allowing that challenge to open yourself up to actually expanding into something much bigger and
which
much
also
greater.
allows you to have more confidence, right?
100%.
People are probably asking you, well, you're so confident. It's like, well, I'm not going to obsess and give the energy to the thing that's driving me crazy. I'm going to give it life. That's where you get the confidence from that. Okay, let me give this life instead of feeding this loop of hell and misery and frustration.
And you know what's crazy about this too, is when you do this practice, you'll notice that the more you ignore your reality in the way that I said, and it's not about being irresponsible, solutions will come in the weirdest freaking ways that you did not even control, that you couldn't have controlled. Like random solutions will come in that are like so much greater than whatever you thought was going to solve the thing.
Yeah.
In really weird ways. Like, oh my God, okay, I have a $3,000 bill or whatever it is. And then, but somehow in the universe, all of a sudden you manifest like a $20,000 client. Like just, do you know what I mean? It's like, how can you dwarf the things and become greater than becoming the thing itself?
I want to add to that too, because that happened to me. I had a $15,000 bill a few years ago. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with this. And I asked God, I said, show me, not I want, not I need.
Yes.
Show me how it's possible.
Yes.
Show me. Ask and you shall. The whole quote, it's on an Instagram quote, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Show me how to make this possible. Show me the way. That's when you pray, prayer is a tool it's a technology to connect to something. It's a tool, just like apps.
But I love this, the way that you're saying it, because you're saying it from certainty. See, most people will say, oh, please show
please
me.
God,
Like,
please God.
I'm so helpless, show me. But you're doing a command, actually. You're like, hey, I'm the creator of this whole thing here. Show me my power. Show me.
Beautiful.
Show me.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Yeah. And it gives you more confidence.
Yes. Yes.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
I love
really
that.
cool. Oh my God, I love you
that.
so much.
I love it.
I'm like, this is so great. I'm like, can you like live with me? I'm like, just come to Miami all the time. It's so fun. Okay, beautiful tip. Amazing. That's really powerful. I love that. That's one.
Oh, one. Oh my gosh.
It's a loaded one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a loaded one. Okay.
I mean, that's probably the only one really anyone needs, but let's throw in two for party favors.
Okay, two. This is pretty basic.
Okay.
Literally just notice every single trigger. That's it. That's literally, and it's the hardest thing for people to do. It's the hardest thing for me. It's the hardest for me. Every single trigger, a bill, someone not texting you back, like this thing not, you getting rejected from something. Instead of like reacting to it like you're talking about and feeding it, just notice the freaking trigger, notice where it's coming up in your body. And then this is what I talk about. It's just energy. So you notice, oh shoot, okay, it's really making my chest feel weird. Okay. And then if you can actually just go, okay, this is just energy that's attracting the thing in the first place, then all of a sudden you can like have distance from it. It's not you, it's reacting to the energy and it's being fed by that energy. And then you can actually let go of that energy. And then the less and less triggered you get by it, oh, wait, that thing doesn't really seem to happen in my reality anymore.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you just up level. That's like it's a hard one, but it's like a very simple one that people just don't do.
Check-ins.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I love the check-in thing, but I can't like steal your tip.
But it's like you do it too, because now you're so much more self-aware.
Right, that I am automatically checking
You're like,
in.
got it, noted. Now actually doing something about it is different, but at least you're self-aware.
Yes. I guess the third tip, it's very basic and people say it all the time. So I'm just gonna, at the risk of sounding trite, but it works so well, is whenever you're in a funk about anything, just honestly, it is the most simple thing. Just get out of the house or the apartment, wherever you are, either go to a workout class, go on a 5-minute walk, or drive somewhere for 10 minutes. Like, just move. Like, moving out of whatever challenging state you are in, I'm telling you, it will change your life if you can do this. You might think, no, because, I'm wasting my time. It's the opposite.
And when you speak like that, when you put that word, you're creating a spell that you are wasting the time.
Yes.
So the entire time you're not even going to enjoy it because you think you're wasting your time.
Yes, but if you actually use it as a like you can even think about it as a portal to like getting out of that.
I love that you said
what I mean?
that, because I use mirrors as portals, because a mirror is a portal. So I speak to myself.
I don't know that.
Yes, mirrors. That's why
what?
there's a lot of practitioners and psychics that say never put a mirror in front of your bed, because mirrors are portals to alternate dimensions and universes. That's why the ancient Egyptians also, when they spoke to themselves in the mirror to basically alter their realities. Remember, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? She was so confident that she was the fairest because of the way she spoke to herself. So that's why she ruled the land.
You mean, okay, so you're saying that when you're in front of a mirror, you can actually set an intention for it to be a portal of some sort.
Correct, because the left eye is the creative, which is also connected to the heart. So when you speak, you can speak into your left eye. That's why I like Left Eye Lopez from that group.
Oh, Destiny's Child?
Was Destiny's Child?
No, TLC?
TLC. Yeah. They called her Left Eye Lopez because she was like the creative one. So when you speak into the left eye, and that's the creative. I mean, you can speak into, I do both, but if you want to be really intentional, you speak into the left eye, and that's the one that can alter you.
Wow, that's really cool.
And if neuroscience is so connected to spirituality, the way you speak to yourself can literally at a cellular level alter you. Why not do it?
Yeah.
I actually want to get a mirror in my home that's I literally did this on ChatGPT. I'm going to send it to you. You're going to be like, holy shit, you need this. I took a mirror and I told Chad or Claude, I said, turn this into my version of the most magical portal. And it gave me this white tuft rounded mirror that's magical with a travertine base with a mounted crystal on it.
Oh, I love that.
And I was like,
oh, I would love
I can't live without this mirror.
You have to get that made.
I know. Wait, I have to show it to you.
No,
I sent it to my best friend.
That
she was like,
so beautiful with gold.
Oh my God, I can't believe it's already 1:00. This is look at this.
Wow.
Look at that. How do we show the camera this mirror? Can we show the camera this mirror?
Wait.
What? whatever you desire, you speak it into this mirror.
Oh, wow. That's
not me thinking like, do I start a mirror company?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Tell me this is not that you look at this every morning and you cannot become a portal into this.
Oh, amazing.
I believe because things hold energy. And if you believe that everything is energy, which we know to be true, why not use a mirror to become the best, most highest version of yourself?
I mean, yeah, as you go to these higher levels of consciousness, you have more ability to set intentions around and like literally create consciousness bubbles around things. Like, and the higher you go, the more you can actually do that, because, well, what I say is the higher you go, the more you're in your power, your center of power. And so then if you're in your creator center of power, then guess what? You are the creator more and more and more. So then if you set an intention around something, you are literally able to create that even more powerfully. Yeah. So you could, yes.
I have a lot of mirrors in my home, and less from a vanity perspective, even though your girl loves to check in on her hair and face. It's more to remember to speak to myself.
I love that.
Because what is the outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So people come to my house, they're like, there's a lot of mirrors here. And I'm like, I use it for dual.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Cool.
It's really, really fun because, again, it's like those check-ins, you know?
Yeah.
Where can everyone find you?
And you can find me on Instagram at Paget Kagy, Paget Kagy, or pagetkagi.com.
And when are you coming back to Miami, and when are you moving here?
Oh my, it's crazy. I know. I feel like
the water, the land.
No, it's weird. I've been pulled to Miami. And when you messaged me, I'm like, it's weird because I felt pulled to Miami anyway. Then you messaged me. Then I got invited to this thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's something here. I don't know what it is.
That's how I felt. Very magical.
Oh, really? Is that how you felt?
Also, like being by the water and the fact that it's swimmable. Like in Judaism, we do something called mikvah after our period. It's like, I haven't done it in a while. I should. I actually like it. But after your period, you go completely naked into a body of water. And it's, you speak to yourself with like a certain intention. Judaism is all about spirituality. Like, pretty much from A to Z, like every single thing from the way we eat, even the food that we eat kosher because it's killed so not to feel pain. Because if you eat an animal dying in pain, then that energy transfers to you.
So you're vegan?
No.
I'm guessing, are you vegetarian?
No. I still eat meat. I just need it to be killed kosher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when it's killed, it's a certain vein is slit so that it doesn't feel any pain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Halal is similar.
What is your feeling about like the idea of witches?
Witches were a construct created by men who didn't like that they were using words and herbs to heal themselves in their communities. It was so that they couldn't buy land.
Did you have like a woman in your lineage who was like not
witchy?
Yeah.
I think my great grandmother on my dad's side super witchy.
Okay, because I can
you can feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, she had someone who was very into like creating things and like.
Well, my great grandfather was also known to be like a warlock because he created miracles everywhere he went. People went to him to get blessings.
Oh,
like he was the man in the community that people were like, my son, God forbid, is sick. Heal him. Like he was the one that created the miracles. Okay. There's books about it and stuff too.
I'm seeing the woman though.
Maybe my grandmother.
Yeah, it's cool.
I would definitely want to go deeper into that. Actually, this guy, Gedalia Fenster, he's like also a spiritual advisor, teacher, kind of like a modern rabbi, if you will. He actually just texted me the other day about a psychic that he was like, you got to go to this guy. I just did a reading with him and it's like next level. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. It's in my text messages. I've been behind on work because I haven't had a nanny. And part of my work, I don't care what anyone says, is consulting with other spiritual leaders and psychics so that I can be better at my life and my job.
No, I mean, for sure. I think for me, psychics have been an interest. I've had an interest. No psychic has been correct about me.
Well, we're going to fix that. We're going to find one.
But like, why is it that no psychic, I'm talking about high level psychics that like are, do all the stars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
None of them
have been aligned.
Accurate.
Interesting.
With me. So I'm almost like feel like
mission accepted.
No, but I almost feel like me getting a psychic reading is not a good thing because it shifts something in me where then I change the timeline.
Well, you just said it, not me. So that's coming from somewhere. I don't speak like that because I don't feel the need to. You said it because that's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would lead with that.
I think it's because when I go to a psychic, it kind of gives my power. I'm kind of giving my power
And
away.
that's part of your tikkun.
I know. I know.
That's part of your tikkun.
Yes.
That's not mine. I have another one.
Yes. So guys, if your tikkun is mine,
Giving your power away. But look at that. Like, even just by communicating, right? And this is also the power of women talking. Like, we're like, oh, I didn't realize that about myself. Oh, I didn't realize that about
Yes,
you. Like,
yes.
it's fun, you know? Like, that's the whole point of community. That's what makes it interesting.
yeah, that's
And now I'm like,
absolutely
wait,
true.
who is the female witch in my family? But yeah, witches, it was really a construct that
she used
men
herbs
created.
too. Like she would do things with herbs and.
Well, I do that in my home.
Okay, well, yeah.
So,
okay, maybe that's why. Because
My son's always like, not another. And I'm like, take it.
No, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, herbs and words are incredibly healing. We have to wrap up. I could talk
know.
to you for 5 hours. This is unbelievable.
and we will.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yay, come to Miami.
I will.
That's all.